Brought to you by Almond Auctions, the worldwide leader in antique tractor auctions.
Welcome to Harrisonville. Founded in 1837, this is a western Missouri town with a historic courthouse square. But you won't find all the best antiques in town. Not far away, you can ride along on this red beauty, built back in the days when Missouri's own Harry Truman was president.
The tractor is a 1946 Massey Harris 203G. They built distillate models and they built the G models. There are varying opinions as to how many they built actually of the G tractor, but the number that most folks agree upon is 119 of them. They were built after the war, a WW2 as Archie Bunker used to say. The distillates were built during the war when gasoline was scarce and they had cheap distillate, kerosene-based distillate fuel. This one is a gas model though, and it was the 105th one built actually in 46.
Though he loves restoring and caring for shiny red tractors like this 203G, Bill Parrish is no farmer. He spends his working days selling insurance. So how did Bill get into classic tractors?
Well, I don't fish or hunt, and I'm not allowed to chase wild women, so tractors it is.
Indeed, Bill now has a score of Massey Harris machines in his barn, some restored and some not. His collection includes a few 555s, rare vineyard and orchard models, and the full 200 series. This is a guy who likes his classic tractors rare.
I'm always looking for the scarce and low production ones. That's what I collect. There are some that are beyond my means, so I'm not ever going to collect them, but I have a couple that are very scarce. One that happens to be one of a kind. So this is one of a kind. It's a 47 Massey 44 experimental vineyard. It's the only one known. It's the only one that we think they ever built.
Though Bill likes all his Masseys, the big beefy 203G just might be his favorite.
It was a Wheatland tractor. Most of them were sold and used in Canada, North and South Dakota, and western Kansas in the wheat country. It would have been used to plow with, turn a moldboard plow or maybe a disc plow. It would have disc and pulled a drill. It was probably one of the most powerful tractors for its year. Yes, others came out with bigger ones in 47, 48, and up into the 50s. But in 1946, right after the war, it was a very strong one, and that's why it was made and sold in the wheat country. The power in it is a 330 cubic inch Continental 6-cylinder. It will pull a 5-bottom plow. I think you asked me about that before. I have had a 5-bottom behind it, just to find out if it would.
The Continental flathead engine is tucked away behind side panels that helped keep dirt out of the engine compartment. And the big rear fenders helped keep mud from flying up on the driver. But like most tractors of its day, this iron workhorse wasn't long on creature comforts.
The tractors at that time were not very user-friendly. They didn't have air-conditioned cabs and big cushy foam seats and power steering and all. It's Armstrong steering. While it's moving, it steers very well. When it's stopped, you better use both arms on it to turn it.
With a hefty drawbar and steel-rimmed wheels with cast iron centers, this tractor tips the scales at 8,500 pounds. With a 4-speed transmission, the 203G was equipped with what Massey Harris called twin power.
Well, that was a Massey Harris sales point. You supposedly had 2 power levels. You would pull the throttle down to the regular one for field work, and for belt work, you'd pull it on over on the lock notch down, and it would turn it up another 200, about 300 RPM from 1700 to 2000. It was a sales point. That's all it was, actually, but that's kind of stuck with Massey people, twin power, just like nothing runs like a deer.
Speaking of deer, did you happen to notice what that little decal on the side of Bill's bright red tractor has to say?
Oh, nothing bad. It just says, "Friends don't let friends drive green tractors." I really put that on there for my son-in-law, who's a John Deere collector and really a good guy. He wasn't having too much luck winning with his John Deere G puller, and he now has a Massey 44 puller, and he's pretty hard to beat.
Though some guys do like to pull with their classic tractors, Bill Parrish says that for his 1946 Massey Harris 203G, the working days are over.
It just rides me around once in a while and goes to shows, and that's all it does. Yeah, it's definitely retired. It's on unpaid Social Security at this time.